Hey, in this video, we're going to be talking about the cost of living difference between New York and Dallas, Texas. So if you're thinking about making a move from New York, you're going to want to stick around because we're going to highlight some of the key points and differences in the cost of living. And we're going to get after it right now. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything there is about eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good and the bad of living in Dallas, Texas, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market in Dallas, Texas. My name is Levi Lassick, and my partner Jimmy and I get calls and emails every single day of people just like you looking for help on making their move to Dallas, Texas, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, be sure to give us a call, send us a text, or shoot us an email, and we'll be happy to help you make a smooth move to Dallas, Texas. So now let's get into the key aspects of the cost of living difference moving from New York to Dallas. And I just wanted to let you know up front that I lived a year in Long Island, New York. I was actually in the Melville area. And one thing I loved was the proximity, of course, to New York City, being able to take the Long Island Railroad all the way into Manhattan on the weekends and just spending the weekend in the city. You know, I absolutely love New York. And I understand in the current situation, December 2020, we're going into 2021, that, you know, it's very, very hard right now for businesses and business owners because of all of the closures and with the pandemic. And it's very unfortunate. So, we really feel for you. But I'll tell you what, here in Texas, we are open for business, and Texas is a very business-friendly state. Actually, you can check out one of our other videos on Is Dallas Worth It? And that's what we discuss in there. So, we welcome you. If you're thinking about making a move, there's going to be a tremendous amount of savings, and that's what I wanted to cover with you today because the cost of living difference is so significant that you're going to really be able to take advantage of the savings. And if you're able to keep the same position that you're in, maybe you're able to work remotely now, I tell you what, it's going to be a huge advantage for you coming to Dallas, Texas. And the big difference is overall, it's an 84% difference in cost of living. New York is 84% higher than Dallas, Texas on average. So that means your food and groceries on average are 18% higher. So could you imagine just by making the move to Dallas, Texas, you're gonna save immediately just buying the same food that you buy now, 18% on your grocery bill. That is significant. That's almost 1/5 of what you're spending on food and groceries right now, immediate savings for you. And so there's different index ratings that they give on a score of 1 to 100. And 100 is right at the normal level, you could say. And Dallas comes in at 99.1. New York is actually 116 on the cost of living scale for that. So like we said, 18% savings just in groceries alone. Housing in New York, on average, housing in New York is 216% higher than Dallas, Texas. Can you believe that? So just if you were to sell your house or your apartment in New York, then when you make the move down here, you should be able to buy something for cash depending on the equity that you have in your current home or apartment. So on the cost of living rating scale, Dallas comes in at 92.9 and New York comes in at 294. Think about that, 294 out of a scale of 100, that is crazy. So the median home cost in Dallas, Texas is around $214,000 as compared to New York, $680,000. So could you imagine if your home is anywhere near the $680,000 mark, you could come here and almost buy 3 homes for the price of what you're paying in New York. So that's a tremendous amount of savings in housing and in groceries that if you are able to work remotely and keep the same income or salary that you have now, or maybe you're running an online business, just from those factors alone, I would think that would be a huge motivation to make a move to Dallas, Texas, especially with the situation that's going on in New York. And again, we really feel for you up there. If you're thinking about making a move, then now would be the time. Now, when you take a look at utilities on top of that, New York on average is 50% higher than Dallas, Texas, which means, again, making the move here to Dallas, then you would have an immediate savings. You could cut all your utility bills in half. So think about that. Groceries, 18% less, 18% savings, what you're getting there. And now utilities, 50% savings on that. On top of that, transportation in New York overall is 55% higher. So depending on what your main mode of transportation is whenever you are traveling around New York, then you could expect to save 55% just by making your move to Dallas, Texas. So again, if you're able to keep the same job and work remotely, or it doesn't matter where you're at, then it's a tremendous benefit for you. So by the way, if you are finding some value in this video, we hope so, please like this video. That really helps us a lot. And also comment below, tell me where you're moving from exactly from New York. Like I said, I lived in Long Island in Melville. I was there for a year. Really loved living on Long Island and having the proximity to go to the city, Manhattan. I mean, a couple hours drive to Philly, went to Jersey, went to Baltimore, went to Boston. I mean, that's what I really loved about being around the New York area. In Texas, when you're in Texas though, you're kind of like stuck in Texas. It takes you several hours just to get out of the state. The closest would be Oklahoma, which I don't know if anybody ever really wants to travel to Oklahoma. Just kidding. If you're from Oklahoma, don't go crazy on me, but no, Oklahoma's great. But still, it takes you a couple or several hours to get out of Texas, depending on which way you're traveling to. New York, I mean, within 1 to 2 hours, you could be in Connecticut, you could go to Boston, you could go to Philly, you could go to Jersey. I mean, you know this, but I'm just letting you know that's what I really loved about being in New York. So transportation, 55% difference whenever you move to Dallas, Texas, and also healthcare costs. Whatever healthcare you have in New York, you're actually going to save on average about 20% when you move to Dallas as well. Again, a tremendous amount of savings that you're going to see whenever you make that move. Everything else, when you factor everything else in there, you're looking at clothing, restaurants, repairs, entertainment, kind of like all the miscellaneous stuff that you have. You're going to save on average about 15%. So again, just doing what you're doing now, 15% on just your miscellaneous things. Especially, that's what keeps a lot of people in sometimes, is the cost of entertainment or movies and dinner and going out and park, everything that's involved with that. Very expensive in New York, but here in Dallas, it's pretty simple to get around. A lot of places, even downtown, have free parking, some before 6 p.m., some after 6 p.m. It's very driver friendly to get around, but other than that, entertainment as a whole will save you about 15%. Now here is one of the big kickers, is childcare. If you are working, now depending on if you're working from home now, maybe you don't spend as much on childcare as you used to, but still the average childcare savings you will get by moving to Dallas is going to be 34%. 34% savings automatically just by doing what you're doing now. You're likely to find the exact same type of childcare and just spend 1/3 less than what you're used to. Now, here is a really big factor, is of course the taxes. I mean, I'm sure you know, that's why a lot of people in New York do business in Florida or commute back and forth, or have their primary residence in Florida, things like that. 42% savings in taxes by moving to Texas. Can you believe that? 42%. Can you imagine saving 42% of your income automatically from taxes? That is absolutely crazy. And if you're making on average the salary in New York around $136,000, even if you were to take a pay cut to move to Dallas, The salary in Dallas that's equivalent to about $136,000 in New York is only $70,000. So you could almost even cut your salary in half and it would kind of even things out. So really, if you still just wanted to get out of New York and there was nothing available that paid the same salary, or your current job wasn't going to pay you the exact same amount, if you found something here at half the salary you're making, you should still be able to really have the same lifestyle that you're paying for in New York right now. And that is something to really take into consideration. So again, we hope you found value in this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. It really helps us a lot. And again, if you want to know everything there is about eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good and the bad of living in Dallas, Texas, then check out some of our other videos. We got several of them out there to kind of give you a rundown on everything that's going on in Dallas. And we're releasing new videos every single week. But on top of that, again, if you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, just give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Check out our video, the 6 must-dos that you must do before moving to Dallas, Texas. That will really give you an idea on the steps you need to take. And so with that being said, until next time, we hope to see you around town.